Good morning, everyone. At least it's morning here. It is a Saturday morning, and I am wanting to make some raspberry jam real quick. Who does that real quick? Well, I'm gonna do it real quick because I have a recipe that I want to make later today, and I want to drizzle raspberry jam on top. Doesn't that sound good? I'm gonna make some cupcakes. I'm gonna put some raspberries in the cupcakes. Little tip, when you do that, coat your raspberries with flour first, just a tiny bit of flour before you put them in any kind of batter like cupcakes or breads or anything else. It works like that with chocolate chips too. It works like that with just pretty much everything. And they won't like sink to the bottom when you're baking. So that is like a major tip. So if you're ever doing something that you want to mix berries in or cupcakes, chocolate chips, just coat it in a little bit of flour before you add them to the batter. And you wouldn't think it works, but it really does. So little tip for the day. Anyway, let's make some raspberry jam. Right now it's October, the end of October, that I'm doing this video, if you happen to see this later. But raspberries aren't really on the season right now. So I am just doing frozen raspberries. In my recipe book, I'm gonna make this in the cooking blender. And I'm basically gonna go by the recipe, and it calls for a pound of fresh raspberries, but it also works with frozen too. You can defrost these first if you want. It'll go quicker when you make your jams because it won't have to bring it up from temperature from a frozen berry. But honestly, I ain't got time for that. So I am just gonna throw this together and it will work just fine. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go by the recipe. This again, like I said, is in our deluxe cooking blender cookbook. And I'm on page 35, which is all the jams. So basically, I'm gonna do a pound of fresh raspberries, or frozen, and I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of water. And then I'm gonna add 1 box of the pectin, which is what this guy is here, okay? So this is as easy as it is. I plugged in my deluxe cooking blender, okay? It's all plugged in, good to go. Sorry, there's my little, handle. I'm getting that way. So it's plugged in my deluxe cooking blender. Make sure you turn it on the side, that helps. And it tells me my lid's not on there. Well, guess what? My whole blender is not on there. Base isn't on there. My base is on now, ready to go. Here is 12 ounces of raspberries. Freshly picked. At least they were when they put them in the bag. And then it calls for 4 ounces of raspberries. So what I did, I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm probably going to mix it up. Let me see if I can just go. Whoop. Okay, so this is actually our scale, which I love our scale. So it has what's called tare. So I've already done it, but I've actually measured out another 4 ounces-ish of berries because I actually have a package that I'm going to be using too. So I pulled that out of there that I'm going to be using for my cupcakes. But the cool thing about this, and it's a little wet now, so it's not exactly even, but I basically put my container on here and then I can put tare and it's going to go back to 0. So then whatever I add after the fact, it'll measure just that weight, which is pretty stinking cool. So let's say I add sugar, which this isn't, and I want to add something else. I can tare it again, and then we're just going to put this off to the side just for purposes. And then it will measure whatever else I'm adding onto it. So it's kind of cool. So if you start with like a big bowl of something and you want to add, just completely add your measurements and your ingredients in there over and over, just keep hitting tare and it'll just keep going back to 0. So it's kind of cool. All right, so anyway, there's that. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our pectin in here. And then we're gonna also add 1/4 cup of water, because that's what it called for, 1/4 cup of water. So we're gonna add our water in there first. And then we're gonna add our pectin. This is how you make your jellies. All right, we're gonna add this in here. Guys, this is tough work, I'm telling you. Whew. I don't know how often you guys make jam, but whew, let me just tell you, whew, it's tough work. All right, so let's go ahead and put our lid on, guys. All right, and watch the magic. Let's see, I'm gonna pull you in and see if you guys can come a little closer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn my dial. That's all I'm doing, is turning my dial. The first one is like a heated custom heat, smoothie, alternate milk, grind, heated wash, soup, heated puree, jam. Okay, and it's 220. So basically this is gonna cook, not cook from the friction. We're talking it's a heating element, so it actually cooks. And it's gonna cook our jam up to 220 degrees. So we are ready to go. I'm just gonna push the button. That's it. I'm making jam. It's gonna grind it up, it's frozen. So it might be a little noisy right this second because it's doing that. But basically I'm cooking jam, guys. What are you doing today? I will come back when it's halfway through and show you how it's bubbling away. And then I'll show you the next step. See you in a bit. Bye. Okay. All right, guys. It has been probably about a half hour or so. And my jam has been jamming. Look, it's like says, I don't know if you can tell. It has the word, there we go, add. It's blinking. It started beeping and blinking at me, and it's telling me to add. So what you do is you basically, at this point, you add your sugar. And you probably, if you like, don't like a lot of sugar, yeah, don't watch this part. Because the bad thing about jam is, and also I guess the good thing about jam too, both ways, you have a lot of sugar. So that's the half cup. It calls, and I was reading off the directions, guys. So again, just gonna go back to my jam setting. And with raspberry, it calls for 2.5 cups. So each one's different, so it depends. You can do the low sugar strawberry, but I've not tried the low sugar raspberry. And like I said, I want this to be jamming. So we're just gonna sugar it up, okay? So 2.5 cups of sugar. So I put my half in there, and there's my one. And I love these measuring cups. We've had them forever. But there's something about the angle of this. It makes it really easy to scoop out of your container. So love it. And to pour without making a mess. Like that too. All right, guys. So 2.5 cups of sugar. All right. Guess what? We're going to put our lid back on. And I know this is tough work, guys. Ready? Ready? Got it. Whew. I'll be back. All right, guys. I am back. And I didn't even get a picture of this like when it was boiling and cooking because it happened so quick and I was outside doing other things. So it is done. Yum. So basically we're gonna go ahead and pour it out and show you. Take that off, take my lid off. Yum. And look at this, I don't know if you can tell, this looks like amazing. Look at the steam coming off that, man. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna do a freezer jam part because I am not gonna keep this around that long to, literally, it's been sitting for a few minutes. But I'm gonna throw this in the freezer. So we're gonna use a little bit of this for what I need. And then I'm gonna throw the rest in the freezer. Guys, and I'm like paying attention to what I'm doing. There we go. And I'm not paying attention to you guys. I'll have to get one more prep bowl out, okay? Yeah, this isn't gonna last long. This stuff's amazing. I think I'm gonna make some biscuits. It's pretty good. So again, raspberry jam did not take me that long at all, and I was in the middle of doing everything else too. So I love it. This deluxe cooking blender is like the bomb. It is so amazing. You can do so many different things with it. I made apple butter last week, so that worked out really well. So I'm gonna be doing some more things and experimenting with some more stuff. I've done so many. I can't even mention like chuck cheese sauce and marinara sauce, homemade. And like I said, they give you so many recipes and ideas in here, and we can even come up with some more. So it's pretty amazing. So raspberry jam for the win. So check it out. If you happen to be seeing this on replay, because I'm going to post this on YouTube a little bit later, contact me. Let me know how you want to get it for free or discounted. Right now, if you're getting wanting to do a show, right now, actually in November, which is coming up here for me a couple days, you can get it for 60% off when you have your own party, which is not hard to do. And I can help you get it done, and you will get this next to nothing. So drop me a post, send me a message, whatever you want to do, and we will get this going for you. So anyway, have a great day, and I'm going to go have some raspberry jam. Bye.